Hey, this is Mr. Buwalda, and I'm going to show you a few things that's going to help you with Project Day and also what you're doing on Thursday. So, for Project Day, remember, everybody has to do parts 1, which is playing the games and then answering the few questions. Part 2, which is reading over the notes on typography and answering a couple more questions. And also Part 4, which is working for 45 minutes on your floor planner. But let's talk a little bit. Oh, and I did make that in Edsby, so you can see that right here is where you can find the electronic version of that, so you can just hand it in. Okay, so now we're going to talk about what you're actually doing on designing a page. And the first thing I can tell you is you should be looking at the page ladder, which I'm going to show you where to find it. So in the Teams drive, so here's your Teams drive right here. And in the Teams drive, you have a folder called Page Ladder. If you go under Files, and then you don't have to do anything but just click it, you can see the Page Ladder. And here's where it says who's doing what. So if you look at, like, for example, pages 40 and 41, if we go over and we see that the name beside it where it says assigned to is Augusto. So these are the pages he's doing, which is one spread. So what you should be looking for is things like my notes. Do I tell you anything here that's important? You don't really worry about the background image because that's going to be applied later. And if you have a write-up, it's just going to be the dummy write-up, like the page holder write-up that we're going to replace later because we don't have the team write-ups done yet from the individual teams. So that'll be replaced later. Just so you know, it should be about 50 words long. And you can just use the default one that's built right into the template to put it in. But again, if you're doing a page, and you should be looking at last year's yearbook or the other years to see how we did it there, because you're basically trying to make the same sort of spread when you do yours. So now we know where to look for the different things in this page ladder. But now we're going to show you in Friesens how you actually get to your page. So it's a little bit different than how you see it when you go in. So here, when you first log into Connect Me and you go to build it, you see this layout here. My layout may look a little bit different than yours, but all you have to do is if you click on this button, it shows you the ones that have been assigned to you. And you can see right now this one is assigned to me. But if I go into this list, for example, 44, 45, that has already been assigned to someone. Off the top of my head, this is hockey. So someone's actually doing that one. And you can see that for any of these pages, any of the spreads that we're already doing, you can see that the template is already there. So if this was you, and you find your page according to the page ladder, you just open this up. Let's see who it is, by the way. So this one is Aylin. Okay, so Aylin is doing this one. So if I was Aylin, I just open this up. And you can see that it opens just sort of like you did before with the practice ones. And there you go. The background and stuff is there. If you go into layers, you can see that they're all there. And you're just going to design on top of it. So this one is hockey. So we're going to look for hockey folders. Now I know, because I've looked through this many times, that we have two different types of hockey. We have the TDCH IHL, which is like the league that we usually play in here with 3 teams. And that's over here. And then we have varsity hockey, which is where we do that against other schools. So you can put those on. What I would probably suggest is that it makes sense to do this on one page and varsity hockey on the other. And you can go back to the page ladder and make sure that you have the right lineup for that. Now for hockey, because there's so many people, we typically don't put the names of everyone involved. But if you look in this one, for example, you'll see that in this gallery, there's something in the wrong one, so I'll have to remove that. But you can see that there's already pictures of the 3 teams, okay? So in this case, when I bring it over, remember, I don't want to just drag it on top of here because sometimes that does funny things. So I'm going to just drop it over here. And now it's in there. Okay. And now I can kind of resize it and stuff. you can see that there's a little bit of room on the top if I wanted to crop that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that because I don't need that. And I really can't take anything off the side, but there we go. And now this one is ready to place. And I'm just going to do that on this side. And remember, I'm starting from the inside going to the outside. So the template is already applied, and you know this because you can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns on each page. So remember to save your work often. In this case, it's going to be a little bit different because nobody else can get onto your page except for you and me. Okay, so I can close this now, so it's there to go. And yeah, that's ready to go. If you want to make sure, another place you can check who's assigned to it is this. This is just an electronic version of the page ladder. So if we go to pages 44, 45, we can see that Aylin's name is attached to it. Okay, so that's how you check things in there. Now, one thing I want to tell you about is if you have something like a sports team, we got to get the information like who's on the team. So let's not use hockey as an example, but let's use like junior boys volleyball and junior and senior boys volleyball, which is a spread that I believe G1 is working on. Anyway, what we do is we go back to the teams, and this time instead of going to the page ladder, I'm going to go back and I'm going to go to the write-ups tracking team. And inside the write-ups tracking team in files, look at that. There's this thing here that says Teams and Clubs for 23-24 yearbook. So again, I don't have to open this in Excel. If I just click it, it opens up right in Teams. And you can see that this is called a workbook, and it's full of the things. So if I want to know who's on the junior boys volleyball team, all the information is right there. So it tells you who was the head coach, who was the assistant coach. So we probably do this with just putting their names. We don't even have to put coaches because we know. And these are all the people that are on the team. Now, this is the right spelling as well. So make sure you're copying this if you're doing a Teams page. Most of them you don't have to, though. If they're not sports, we don't usually mention who was on the event, okay? So remember to save your work. That's that. If you need to talk to me, you can try Edsby messaging me. I am at school on Friday, so I will try my best to get back to you. If you're having real struggle, you just can't figure anything out, I would suggest that you then wait till Tuesday when you come back, and we can help you there. I can help you there, and you can always work on your floor planner. Like, I'm just assuming that at the end of the year, I'm going to be able to say, okay, I want to see everyone's floor planners, and they're going to be done, and they're going to really make me excited about that. Okay? So there you go. There's your task. Remember, Thursday, there are specific assignments that everybody's supposed to be doing. I'm going to post that in Edsby. You'll see it. And make sure, as always, to help each other out. Be careful. And always have your style guide out while you design. Have a nice day.